15 Things You Didn't Know About Sophia Loren. Welcome to Alux.com, the place where future billionaires come to get inspired. Hello Aluxers, and welcome back to our channel for a brand new infusion of charm and style. We thought you might want to get inspired while waiting for these wintry days to pass by. And what better Hollywood icon to focus on than the one and only Mediterranean beauty, Sophia Loren. Born in Rome, Italy on September 20th, 1934, Sophia Costanza Brigida Villani Ciccolone is the daughter of Romilda Villani and Riccardo Ciccolone, a construction engineer of noble descent. She is a singer and actress who started her film career in 1950, aged 15, after being encouraged to take lessons when she caught the attention of one of the finalists of a beauty pageant, Miss Italia. Her international career kicked off in 1956 after signing a 5-picture contract with Paramount. And she gained worldwide recognition, thus becoming one of the most loved actresses of the 20th century. Therefore, it is luxuriously necessary for us to present to you 15 things you didn't know about Sophia Loren. Number 1. Sophia Loren was struck in the face by shrapnel. During World War II, the Allies frequently bombed the harbor and munitions plant in the area where young Sophia lived. Sophia used to hide in impoverished shelters and train tunnels at night. But one night during a raid, as she was trying to get to her shelter, she was struck by shrapnel and wounded on the chin. She was left with a scar on her face, but it seems to us it could have been a lot worse, as Loren's remarkable beauty was not even close to being altered by this unfortunate incident. Number 2. She grew up as a poor, illegitimate child. Even though her father was of noble descent, this didn't have much influence on Sophia's life as he refused to marry her mother. Her mother's unmarried status led to a life of poverty. Sophia and her sister grew up in Pozzuoli near Naples, where they lived with their maternal grandparents, aunts, and uncles in a 2-room apartment. She was a shy and fearful girl, so undernourished that her nickname was Toothpick. After having it all turned around in the classiest of ways, the legendary Sophia Loren said, "The 2 big advantages I had at birth were to have been born wise and to have been born in poverty." Number 3. Starring in the 1953 movie Ada was Loren's big break. Even though she was not the producer's first choice, a series of circumstances made Sophia Loren get the role, and fame followed. The initial idea was for actress Gina Lollobrigida to lip-sync the opera arias performed by one of Italy's most famous opera singers, Renata Tebaldi. Lollobrigida did not agree with the lip-sync and backed off. In these circumstances, Sophia Loren was recommended for the part by Carlo Ponti. She appeared in the movie completely painted black, and the result was that she received critical acclaim for her performance, and she entered the spotlight because of her astonishing beauty. Number 4. She rapidly became a beauty and style icon. The girl who used to be called Toothpick grew up to be a beautiful woman with deep-set eyes, pouty lips, and voluptuous curves. These sensual features added to her talent, allowing her career to blossom. She was called the ultimate European brunette bombshell, especially for the way her beauty caught everyone's attention, in spite of the fact that she was not the blonde Marilyn Monroe type. Speaking of a woman's charm, Sophia Loren taught us that, quote, "Sex appeal is 50% what you've got and 50% what people think you've got," as well as the fact that beauty is a state of mind. In Sophia's wisdom we trust. Number 5. Sophia Loren was the victim of jewelry robbery. In 1970, 4 gunmen forced their way into her suite in the Hampshire House on Central Park South. The intruders handcuffed 4 employees of the hotel, threatened her, and struck her secretary on the head, injuring her slightly. Sophia Loren was robbed of jewelry reported to be worth $700,000 and was left traumatized and shaking. The FBI took over the case, but unfortunately they never managed to reunite her with the stolen goods. Most of the jewelry was not insured, so about $500,000 was gone for good. But Sophia says she learned to never cry over anything that cannot cry over her. Number 6. She married the same man, Carlo Ponti, twice. The two met in 1950 and first got married on September 17, 1957, except there was one small problem. Because divorce was still forbidden in Italy, the Mexican divorce from his first wife, Giuliana, was not valid in his native country. In Italy, Ponti was charged with public bigamy, and Sophia with concubinage. The two had to divorce and moved to France, where they became citizens. Later on, a French court granted divorce to Ponti and Giuliana. Afterwards, he and Sophia Loren remarried in a small French civil wedding. Now, if this isn't a real partnership, we don't know what is. Number 7. Sophia Loren had a near-death experience. In 1957, while she was shooting Legend of the Lost with John Wayne and Rossano Brazzi, all cast were staying in a small hotel that was heated using gas stoves. One night, she woke up in the middle of the night having a headache and feeling dizzy. The reason was she was asphyxiating from the gas stove fumes due to poor ventilation in the building. Even though she was close to fainting, she managed to crawl on her knees to the door and open it before she collapsed. Luckily, co-star actor Rossano Brazzi heard the commotion and came to rescue her. Number 8. She tried hard to become a mother. Enjoying a successful career was not the only thing Sophia Loren wanted in life. After marrying Ponti, she attempted to become pregnant several times. Unfortunately, she suffered 2 miscarriages and had to undergo several series of tests to make sure everything was in order. Luckily, the 3rd time was a charm, but her doctor ordered complete bed rest during the entire pregnancy. She gave birth to Hubert Leone Carlo Ponti on December 28, 1968. She had to take the exact same precautions 5 years later, spending most of her 2nd pregnancy in bed as well. On January 1, 1973, Edoardo Ponti was born. Number 9. Vittorio De Sica's 2 Women was the movie that gained her international fame. Telling the story of a mother who is trying to protect her 12-year-old daughter in war-torn Italy, and how the two end up gang-raped inside a church as they travel back to their home. The movie proved to be extremely well accepted by the critics, and was a huge commercial success. Sophia Loren's performance was impressive, which earned her a total of 22 awards. She won the Academy Award for Best Actress, the first major Academy Award for a non-English language performance, and to an Italian actress, as well as the Cannes Film Festival's Best Performance Prize. It literally took her to the top of the world. Number 10. Audrey Hepburn's diet gave Sophia Loren a hard time. Over Christmas in 1957, Sophia and her husband Carlo Ponti were invited to a lunch at Audrey Hepburn's chalet while they were visiting Bergenstock, Switzerland. As Loren recalled later, what Hepburn had in the menu was a leaf of lettuce, a curl of fresh cheese topped by a smidgen of raspberry compote, and on the plate next to it, a crisp roll, bite-sized. Loren assumed that this was the appetizer, but soon discovered that was not the case. When the plates were cleared from the table, Audrey got up and said, "I ate too much." Loren was still starving and could barely wait to go home and make herself a sandwich. Interesting how Hollywood icons of the time were getting along, right? Don't you want to find out some more about Audrey Hepburn? Because if you do, here's a tip. You can check out our 15 Things You Didn't Know About Audrey Hepburn video by clicking in the top right corner. Number 11. She had a controversial affair with Cary Grant. Cary Grant was supposed to co-star with his wife, Betsy Drake, in the movie Houseboat, for which he wrote the original script. As he fell in love with Sophia Loren, he arranged for her to take Drake's place. In spite of being 30 years her senior and being married, he was so in love with Sophia Loren that he begged her to marry him. She revealed details from the letters Grant used to send her, mixing spiritual ideas and pushing his luck in an attempt to win her heart. Sadly for him, Loren's heart belonged to Ponti, whom she married in 1957. Number 12. She keeps a diary that she burns every year. As much as we'd all like to have the juicy details of Sophia Loren's extraordinary life, we'll only ever receive as much as she decides to reveal. She spoke about her habit of burning her diary in an interview on Good Morning America, explaining that she wouldn't want for these lines she wrote to be around when she isn't anymore. She enjoys her privacy to the point where some things she wants to keep just to herself. But anyway, if you would really like to read something written by her, there's an autobiography she wrote with A.E. Hochner, Sophia Living and Loving, Her Own Story. Enjoy. Number 13. She spent 17 days in jail. In 1974, Sophia Loren was charged with income tax evasion, as she was supposedly declaring less income that year, which made her find herself in a lower tax bracket and only paying taxes on 60% of her income, when tax officials said she should have been paying a 70% rate. A tax court sentenced Loren to a 30-day jail term for income tax evasion, and she began her sentence on May 19, 1982. She served 17 days at a women's prison and was paroled early. In 2013, Italy's Supreme Court finally officially cleared Sophia Loren of the charges that briefly landed her in jail 31 years before. Number 14. She had some explaining to do regarding the iconic Jayne Mansfield photograph. First things first, Sophia's look wasn't what everyone thought it was. She explained that the photo was taken at a cocktail party thrown by Paramount, where she was the guest of honor. It was Jayne Mansfield that sat down at Loren's table, uninvited, and started talking, being so intrusive that apparently one of her breasts was in Sophia's plate. Loren explained that she was afraid that Mansfield's dress was going to burst open and expose the little she did have covered, but everything was misinterpreted as the picture went around the globe. Number 15. She won a whole load of awards until now. A career as prolific as Sophia Loren's would have been incomplete without the awards she deserved. She won 4 Golden Globe Awards from 1964 to 1977 as World Film Favorite Female, and Entertainment Weekly selected her as one of the 100 greatest movie stars of all time. In 1994, Loren received a Hollywood Walk of Fame star. Along with the critics, we may all agree that whatever she does on screen is right. She can do ordinary pictures and still remain an international superstar. Still, she grows as a human being. That was it for today, dear Aluxers. If you're new here, don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any of our videos. As well, like and share them with your friends and family. And we're curious to know, Aluxers, do you think Sophia Loren was truly the most beautiful actress of her time? Please let us know in the comments, and of course, we'll be in there with you. Still here, are you? Of course you are, you know how this works. Here's a bonus fact just for you. Number 16. Sophia Loren's career reached its pinnacle when she received $1 million to appear in a movie. Yeah, you heard it right. In 1964, she was offered $1 million to play in The Fall of the Roman Empire. Unfortunately, in spite of being considered unusually intelligent and thoughtful for a film of the contemporary sword and sandal genre, the film was a financial failure at the box office. But one thing we know for sure, Loren kept up with the good work. And just as an FYI, according to Forbes, Sophia Loren's net worth in 2017 was $75 million. Thank you for spending some time with us, Aluxer. Make sure to subscribe so you never miss a video. If you want more, we handpicked these videos you might enjoy, or head over to Alux.com for the best in fine living content on the planet. Be a part of the largest community of luxury enthusiasts in the world and tell your story.